Well,
Yeah,
here we are.
I know.
My brainchild come to life.
Brainchild indeed. Long time waiting.
We're on the traveling Tom podcast.
Yeah.
With my my co-host, the wonderful
James Simons, right here.
Who's James Simons?
Me? Are we going to use my username? JWR Simons.
JWR Simons.
Check me out on Instagram.
I've never met a James Simons before.
Oh, there you go. First time.
So what date are we on? Is it the 3rd of May?
I have no idea. They all sort of just go into one for me.
Thursday, the 3rd of May, 2018. Remember
the date.
Remember the date. It's a big day in global history.
In global history, yeah. Hopefully in like a year or two, everyone will be like, that was the day. I
was going to introduce you as my co-host, but we're equal hosts here.
We are indeed.
We're all about equal opportunity. It's
equal rights for all genders.
2018. Get with the program.
Yeah, indeed.
And of course, we are here to talk about what's in my name.
What?
We're here to talk about what's in my name, which is
traveling.
It is indeed.
Beautiful.
Traveling. The idea behind the podcast is I don't just want to kind of just talk about travel, because I think that it's something that encapsulates everything. I mean, you travel on your morning commute to work, you travel if you want to go around the corner to the shops, you travel if you want to go to the cinema at a weekend. But that's sort of what it's going to be based on, and then we'll have a lot of other topics. I'm sure
we'll sidetrack as well, no doubt.
Oh, definitely,
100%.
We've had discussions. I mean, we've been meeting up for a few weeks now. Would you say how many?
God, I'd say over like 6-7 weeks. 6-7
weeks, and in fact, we may as well sort of explain why we're here.
Yep.
We may as well say why Travelling Tom sat next to JWR Simons, because
well, basically, I thought it would be a great idea to get involved in sort of blogging, travel blogging, photography. So I sent out a few emails and messages. Travelling Tom over here was the first one to respond. In fact, he was the only one to respond. So, testament to him.
I'm just your everyday hero.
Everyday hero. Yeah. Northern hero. And then we sort of got together, had a chat. He mentioned about this podcast thing, and we thought, why not? Give it a go. And 6 weeks later, we are here with a full podcast setup.
Making the big bucks on YouTube.
Indeed, yeah.
If anyone would like to sponsor our podcast.
Yeah, we've got a space on the wall.
We've got a space on the wall. We're actually filming right now from an undisclosed location.
Don't look out the window.
I know, yeah. I hope this doesn't give it all away. But yeah, so it's like, the problem is we live in Manchester. Well, I kind of spend half my time between Manchester and home. I live in a little town just outside of Liverpool in sunny old England, and I'd spend half my time in Manchester. I stay at my girlfriend's house half the week because I work up here, and yeah, there's not much going on. And there's a lot of bloggers. There's not much going on in the way of sort of travel blogging groups. That kind of demographic. I mean, it's a bit different because I've been to blogging events here, but I went to one. In fact, I'll give a shout out to Manfrotto, however you say the name, for hooking me up with that one of their events. I got invited to, I think is it King Street Townhouse or some hotel in Manchester, an event for Manfrotto, and they were doing various workshops and stuff, and a lot of them were centred around fashion, because a lot of the blogging community is female, particularly up north, where you've not got much going on in the way of media. I mean, I know we're in Media City right now, so that seems a bit contradictory, but it's kind of like, compared to say London, there's not as much going on up here. So when you fired me across that message and I just saw that in my inbox, I thought, this guy's willing to meet up, I may as well just, I think, where was it, Zifferblatt in town?
Yeah, Zifferblatt, sort of northern quarter town. God, I can't. It must have been like a Wednesday evening at about 8 p.m. and we were there. We must have been there till closing time as well. We just consistently went on chatting.
Zifferblatt, for those of you who don't know, is where you pay for your time, as opposed to paying for a coffee or a cake. And it sounds good. I've got nothing against it. It was a really cool workspace, but you do rack up.
It does add up.
A fair few.
That like 11p. What was it? 11p an hour? Or no,
it was 11p, but with student discount was 8p.
Of course, it wasn't even an hour. It was 11p or 8p Was it a minute?
No, an hour, yeah. Flipping heck, 11p
that
a
would be
minute,
really
that would be
reasonable,
amazing.
yeah.
We'd still be in there
Yeah,
right now.
100%. We'd be filming this podcast there.
Yeah, no, it's 11p a minute or 8p a minute for student discount. If you think that, it's one of them, like, at first you think, 8p a minute.
Yeah. As
I'm
much
gonna
cake
save,
as you want.
Exactly, I'm going to save loads of money.
Doesn't add up.
So, and add to that the cost of parking in town.
Man.
Yeah, it kind of racked up a bit, but fortunately, we were able to find a couple of other places. Your gym is great. Although, go on.
Shout out to David Lloyd.
Shout out to David Lloyd, but you don't know what they contacted me with the other day.
Oh, really? What did they contact with?
I you know how I want to join.
Yeah.
Because, well, I want to kind of be sort of more regular with the gym, and also
guns.
that's it, sun's out, guns out, we're getting towards summer now.
Yeah, beautiful.
I want to join, and I love the social space. I probably have a dip in the outside pool now and again, but I think the social space is a big thing for me. They like the business hub where you can do work. They contacted me the other day. I heard you're interested in joining David Lloyd, so I was like, oh great. Like, they finally called me after I've filled out about 4 of them slips that I fill in every time you come and let me in, because James gets unlimited social visitors. So yeah, they called me up. You're interested in joining? Yeah, I'd love to join. Blah blah blah. How much is it going to be? You pay £68.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
So at the moment, for a platinum membership, which is the one you've got, £118 a month.
Jesus.
And I was like, it's not happening.
That's
I didn't say. That's what I was saying in my head. To her, I just said, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying £50 less than that,
Yeah.
it's almost twice as much. Doesn't really seem fair. Not a shot at you.
No. I'd have the exact same thought going through my mind.
And it is a nice gym, but price wise, you know how much money I spend on travel. So
I do,
yeah.
Every single weekend he keeps telling me, he's like, just been to this place.
Going to Gdansk in Poland on Saturday, so just thought I'd get. I know actually on Friday. I just thought I'd get that one.
Even better, I've got exam revision. That doesn't sound as nice.
Jealous much?
Yeah, mega jealous. Absolutely mega jealous.
And that's the thing. Like £118, I can't justify that.
It's actually a rip-off.
Because for me, that's like Gdansk. I think is costing something like £60 for the hotel, and then the flights are maybe £30, £40. That's actually less than 1 month at David Lloyd, and you can go and make amazing memories, take a few photos, and still have enough money to join a pure gym or whatever gym you want. So that was a little bit disappointing, but we do meet there. That like the whole point of me talking about David Lloyd is because that's where we have been meeting recently.
Spot, effectively, our meeting up spot,
which you've come up with.
Yeah, worked out well.
And this undisclosed location from where we're filming the podcast was
your idea.
My work.
Credit goes to Tom.
It does indeed. So now we're finally here recording the podcast, but hopefully we're hoping this isn't just going to be the only string to our bow.
No, consistency, opening up other avenues. I don't know what yet.
Well, we talked about making a few videos. We've got a few ideas in the pipeline.
It's top secret. If you go on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find them, but top secret.
Someone you're familiar with, a female. I'm not going to say who.
No.
I'm not going to mention the name. Works in an airport. Again, I'm not going to mention the name of the airport. So someone who's female that works in an airport.
Yep.
And hopefully
she'll hook us up.
She'll hook us up with some
backstage, should we say?
Backstage
that
passes.
Sounds a bit wrong, to be honest.
The official concert of Blackpool Airport.
Yeah.
And hopefully we've got a few different things lined up, and I just hope we can stick at it.
I know.
However,
consistent.
Today has been a bit of an effort, shall we say?
I think effort's the right word. I mean, you can't see the setup behind this lens. It is madness. I never knew the effort that would go into a podcast, let alone a video. It's amazing. Well,
I mean, the reason this is something that I've wanted to do for a few months now. Like, it's not just a spare of the moment thing. Like, I've seen these podcasts. Let's go and do one of our own. The problem is, like I was saying then, the opportunities up north, especially for like travel bloggers, very niche, few and far between. I think a lot of travel bloggers actually live in Leeds, and the problem I know it seems right.
Leeds, it's just like...
I keep looking at loads of travel blogs. It's like Leeds.
Leeds, mad.
And it's a bit too far away to be going, this is on our doorstep.
Yeah.
And you look at say, one of my I got inspiration. One of my favourite podcasts is the True Geordie podcast, so shout out to him. Absolutely fantastic. He's really honest, he's really open, he just kind of
seems like
shoots,
a decent bloke.
yeah, shoots the shit, says it how it is. And at the moment he's got, you know, a lot of guests on there. He recently interviewed like Robbie Williams, Kieran Dyer, Alan Shearer, you know, all these big names. And to be able to do that, but maybe put a travel spin on it, would be fantastic. I don't want to copy him exactly, because obviously there's various.
I don't think you could even copy him. Like, he's just him, and like, there's no way you could sort of encapsulate how he performs a podcast. It's just like so unique to himself.
It is. I mean, it's fantastic. Really, like he's just kind of he's come out of left field, and he doesn't make as much advertising revenue because they don't like that he swears, and he's a bit crass, but. He's just different, isn't he? He's unique,
full on,
and that's what draws you to him. And I've taken a lot of inspiration from him. And I've done 2 degrees at university, both in journalism, and to be able to kind of, I suppose, a podcast is, we've got a guest on next week, but we're going down that route of, you know, interviewing people. That's like sort of got a lot of journalistic attributes needed. You're going to have a bit of a baptism of fire.
Yeah. Well, you know, start in the deep end, they say.
Throw yourself in.
Yeah, got to.
Well, that's it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna just kind of leave you hanging or anything, or force you to ask any questions. But we'll hope. I just want this podcast to be a chat. So I don't want it to be like a, you know, how many miles have you cycled, how you know, how many countries have you been to, and then they just answer and that's it. You know, not gathering sort of sound bites for a newspaper article. I want it to be a chat. I want it to be fun. I want, you know, everyone to get involved. And if anyone's out there who might be watching this, you've got any interesting travel stories to tell, or you know, you've got something that's really relevant to travel, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it matters if you're like famous or anything, because I think a travel story is still a great travel story, and we just want sort of the platform to sort of showcase it, I think. Oh,
that's it. Like, I'm not saying David Attenborough come on our show.
You know, if you fancy.
imagine his voice. Imagine like if we could hear his voice straight to our ears.
Jesus.
That'd be incredible. But, you know, there's him, like people like Bear Grylls. You know, we're not aiming for these people, but, you know, if there's people who have the people we've got on next week have got a really cool story. I won't give it away.
Yeah.
Leave it to be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
They've got a really cool story. You know, it's going to have a lot of probably a few emotional minutes in there as 100%. Well. But they're not famous. They're not well known, but they're doing something really cool. They're going places, and it'll be really interesting to speak to them and see what they've got. So I've got high hopes for this podcast. What the one thing you've got to kind of, I suppose, be careful of or be wary of is consistency, because it's easy to turn up today.
Yeah, 100%. The first one is always the easiest one to do, and then it's repeating it like week in, week out, keep going for a whole year. Like the years, like once you get past a year and you've made it like a routine, that's when you've sort of got it nailed. But it's keeping that like first sort of, I'd say like the first, it's like keeping in a healthy routine so difficult, but I think like once you've done 2 months of something, then it'll just stick.
Yeah, and you've also got to, I mean, you've got to promote yourself, but you've hopefully got to have some views, some subscribers there. And I'm not trying to like pretend we're going to have 1 million by this time next year. But, you know, it hopefully, you know, few people watch, few people like what they hear. And, you know, today we're just sort of introducing ourselves.
Just a chit chat, isn't it?
And then in future weeks we'll have a few guests on. And obviously we've got just the two of us to fall back on if that goes to pot.
Hopefully we're interesting enough for you guys out there as well.
Well, let's hope anyone's actually listening.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? How far are we into? I'm looking at the GoPro, straight down the GoPro there. 16:41, and that's been recording 3 or 4 minutes already before we even started.
That's mad.
But going back to the podcast setup, absolutely incredible. I mean, you see, I suppose it's quite seamless when you watch them on YouTube, because they walk into a studio that's ready made.
100%.
We've literally, this is a pop-up studio at best.
Pop-up studio is a good way to describe it. Just sort of, it's mad.
It's the charity shop of studios, I think.
Yeah. Well, charity shop. Yeah, no, 100%.
But I mean, we've bought the camera, the equipment, so like the microphones, the leads, the we're kind of winging it a bit as well. I've bought an audio interface.
Oh God,
I can't even remember what this is called, but it's basically a headphone box. That's what I'm going to call it.
The headphone box.
The headphone box, because it's where the headphones plug into.
I think that's the easiest way. Sometimes the easiest names to remember are the ones that will just stick, won't they? Tom, you got the headphone box? Yeah,
Yep.
It's just in the bag.
Headphone box. Power Surge.
God.
What do you call them? Leads, adapter. The plug, like the multi-plug.
The
things,
multi-plug adapter.
multi-plug thing. That was like $8.99. But as you say, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, they do indeed.
The worst thing is again, you can't see, but all the wires on the floor. I mean, in a studio, like all this is streamlined. Everything will have its place.
Yeah.
We've kind of come into an empty classroom and.
Shh, not classroom.
An empty. Technically not a classroom.
Technically not a classroom.
What an empty room in this.
Empty room. Facility. If you could hear that was just Tom dropping his bottle cap on the. I could hear it so loud in my headphones.
That'll definitely be on. I even heard it when I put that down. But we're kind of winging it at the moment. I've never recorded a podcast before. Never done anything like. We had a little thing last week where we filmed a video in similar surroundings, but we didn't have all the audio involved. We just had a shotgun mic on the DSLR. And
this is completely new to me. Like it's bizarre hearing your own voice as well. That's something I never ever got used to. Like when you put your hands over your ear and you sort of just about hear yourself. This is just next level, but it's cool. It's epic.
I think a lot of people who know me will probably disagree with me if I said what you just said, because probably love hearing the sound of my voice a bit too much. No, I'm not that bad, but it is. I can understand it's weird, but I mean, I've been doing a few vlogs on YouTube. I've edited things. I mean, my vlogs aren't amazing yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I edit that much. I hear myself speak. Yeah. I'm just used to it now.
Used to it. Well, I'll get used to it eventually. Like 3 weeks down the line, will be like second nature to me.
You'll be hearing what everyone else hears.
Yeah, my annoying voice.
You'll be going home at night and crying.
Yeah. I'll hear my accent like full on. It'll just be like, God, do I have that annoying accent?
We were talking about that the other day because obviously I'm from up north, you're from
down south. North-south divide.
Southerner.
I know, yeah.
And although you've moved up north, so you kind of you're redeeming yourself there a little bit.
Yeah, committed to up north.
But we were talking about this the other day because what's that place name?
Oh, God, he's gonna make me bring it up on mic as well. So it's called Bath.
It's called what?
Bath, as in bathtub, but
you mean Bath?
No, Bath.
You're in England now, son. Come on.
Yeah, England.
Yeah, England.
Well, it's only because I'm up north. Everyone sort of criticised me. If he comes down south, everyone's saying, "What are you talking about?"
Probably won't be able to understand me, would they, to be fair?
No. I mean, I struggle at times. Even with headphones on, I do struggle.
It's weird because, like, when I've been abroad, like, I remember we sat in a hostel one night, and it was in Copenhagen. I'd been out, and with this, he was, like, kind of half Albanian, half Italian guy. And we went out, and we met probably about 30 minutes before, and I just literally walked up to him in the hostel and said, "Do you fancy playing a game of cards?" Because he was sat on his own shuffling cards. He said, "Yeah." So we headed out. We were walking down the street, didn't know where we were going. Next thing is we come across this 7-Eleven. Do you know what a 7-Eleven is? You must know what a 7-Eleven is. You've heard of the convenience store 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Like in America.
Okay.
It's kind of like what would the equivalent be?
Like a spa or something?
Maybe a spa. Like a spa. Yeah, exactly like a spa. And there was like lights coming out of it, like flickering, and this big fan outside, and like a DJ playing outside, and there's DJs inside, and they turned this 7-Eleven supermarket into like a rave, like a disco, and it was absolutely crazy. And it was Summersby, who are owned by Carlsberg, who are from Copenhagen. They were releasing a new flavour of cider, so they were handing it out for free. So we were getting on that on the free drinks, like literally dancing in a club which was actually a supermarket. Everything was still on the shelves.
Yeah.
people were knocking chocolate bars off. Like, people still buying things in the shop. It was bizarre, absolutely sick night though. And we must have got back like 2, 3 in the morning. We're sat there with it was an Australian guy, me and this Italian Albanian guy, and a Swiss girl. And the Swiss girl just couldn't understand the word I was saying. Couldn't understand the word I was saying. So I was having to repeat things several times. But the guy he had broken English, so he could understand me a bit. And the Australian guy knew what I was saying. This Swiss girl was just having none of it.
No. Some people sort of just, especially English accents, get sort of communicated to Australian accent as well. And I've never understood that. And like, when I was in America, I was in Miami, and everyone thought I was Australian. But
I was wondering what you're talking about. Then I see what you mean.
No, yeah, I never sort of got it. But
I've heard people like asking you from Australia, or in fact, a lot of like, if you go to Africa or where was I recently? And they asked. In fact, I think it might have been when I was in Athens a couple of weeks ago, and like you had people coming up to you and saying like, "Yeah, are you from America?" It's like, no, from the country that actually speaks its own language.
No, God, Jesus.
The United Kingdom.
Something just happened.
Something just happened.
100% something just happened.
I hope it's still recording. I think it was the air conditioning.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say it sounded like a fan just went off.
It probably sounds like absolutely amazing. That like crystal clear sound quality. No, so I bet the first 20 minutes of this is just going to be
like sounds like a bee just went past your mic then.
Did it? Zoom. That's pretty cool. I quite like being able to hear myself. And I'm at it.
Here we go again.
I'm at it again. But yeah, no, I think it's quite therapeutic in a weird kind of way.
It's what are those baths? The athletes have those.
What are those? What?
Oh God, Jesus! I'm trying to think of a different way to say it. They're called. Are they like cryogenic chambers? Where if anyone's watched Stranger Things, when the girl gets lowered into the salt. Like that's like a paddling pool when she gets lowered into that. There's actual proper ones which close and it's completely dark and you can't hear anything and it's completely silent and it's mad.
Well, down the road technically we're in Salford now, which is basically Manchester, but it's actually its own separate city. Confusing. In Salford they have one of the world's quietest rooms, and it's just one of them. Like apparently you can hear the blood coursing.
I've seen that go through on Facebook as well, and I thought that must be the worst noise ever.
I'd love to have a go with that though. I'd love
just to experience it. I don't think I could do it.
I think apparently, I don't know how true this is, but if you stay in there for too long, you literally go insane.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw like a video which it was done, and they said that as well. But I don't know. Well, you'd love it because you love the sound of your own voice, don't you?
That's it. But do I love the sound of my heartbeat, and do I love the sound of
that's the one thing I really hate is the heartbeat. So I really just don't think I'll like the sound of the blood. If I don't like the sound of a heartbeat, I won't like the sound of the blood.
Is this something you usually listen to? Sound of heartbeats? How do you know you don't like the sound of a heartbeat?
Well, you can sort of hear yours, especially like in the gym when it gets like did it. I just don't know what it is.
I mean, you won't know because you don't drink alcohol, but when I feel like after a night out kind of thing, you're sitting in bed, your head's spinning,
and you just did it. Yeah, see, yeah. Oh God. See, another thing we're different about. Obviously, you like going out and having a drink, should we say? But no. Fun fact, never drunk in my life.
Hang on a minute. Let's bring that back now. I like going out and drinking socially with my friends. Clearly, of which you're not one.
Well, no.
After that comment.
Slating you, no, apparently not.
No, but I'm not like a massive drink. Like, I never drink at home. Like, I only drink if, say, we're going out for like special occasions. So, like my birthday at the weekend.
Okay.
And I had. What did I have? I had like a beer with a meal, and then like when I went out, like if I go out with my mates, I'm going out like to a club, to bars and stuff. Yeah, I'll drink then.
I love how you go. I'm going out. I'm not going out. Going out. That means to the club. Out.
Is that a northern thing?
I don't know. I've never heard it before in my life, so maybe.
But like people can say like you're going out and you're going out to the cinema or you're going out to a restaurant. If you're going out, then people know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know. I mean, pet hate of my girlfriend's was that she said that I used to go, instead of going out, evidently, I used to go, oh, we're going out dancing. And I feel like that's a bit of an old-timey thing. Yeah, I know.
You going out what?
Dancing.
What?
Dancing. Am I saying that wrong as well?
Dancing.
Dancing.
And you're the reason, basically, like why everyone in America, when you watch a TV program, thinks we all sound the same.
Yeah, it's 100% true.
Thinks we talk like the Queen.
Oh, God.
But we don't.
We don't all talk like the Queen.
All right, here's one for you. I'm going to shamelessly steal it from another podcast. I don't even care. I'm not going to tell you which podcast. You're gonna have to go and listen to all the podcasts to find out which one it is. What's your earliest travel memory?
Earliest travel memory, Jesus. God. That I can remember or that I know that I went on.
No, well, I mean, you can tell us your first holiday, but what was your first travel memory? Like, what can you, like, do you see where I'm going with this? What do you remember? Like the first thing you remember?
So it'd probably be like a family vacation. For you guys that don't know, I've sort of chatted with Tom before. I have family in Barbados, which is a great place to have family. My grandmother lives out there, so when I went out there, I was probably about, from what I can remember, I was probably about 11 when I was out there. That was probably my earliest travel memory, and just visiting my grandma and grandfather out there, just being on the beach. Mate, that's where I live, on the beach. I wish I could have one of those jobs where you see people just sat on the beach on their laptop. That would be perfect. I'm going to fire the question back at you.
Well, first of all, I like to address the beach thing first because, well, it's weird because I'm not a massive beach fan. I hate like when you go in the water, you come back out, you've got sand everywhere. I don't mind if it's a rock beach,
okay,
a pebble beach.
Oh God.
I don't mind that, but I mean, I'm not. I know I'm not the only one because I've had this conversation before.
So you
but
like
I know
rock
for
beaches.
What's that?
You prefer rock beaches?
Yeah, I don't. I love swimming. I love swimming.
Okay.
And that's actually going to form part of my first travel memory that I'm going to tell you about in a minute.
Okay.
But I can't stand when you go in the thing, you go in the sea, you come back out, you dry off, but you just got sand all over your feet, in your pants, in your hair.
But I love what it does with your hair. It's like a wax in your hair, and it makes your hair look epic. I always think it makes my hair look epic when I get out of the sea.
See, I don't know, for me, it's not.
Well, you use hairspray, as I learned like 5 minutes ago.
You mean 5 days ago after I went in after I went to the gym and had a big workout and my hair was all over the place.
I'm sure.
Not 5 minutes ago behind the camera at all.
No, not getting ready for this.
No, I mean, I don't think it does anything for my hair. I think sometimes it can make you feel like it can make your skin almost glow a little bit, you know, when you mix it with the sun and stuff, but it's not. I'm a city boy. Like, I love going on city breaks. I love going away and doing stuff like continuously. I hate just sitting around and doing nothing. And actually, recently, I have had a couple of trips where, like, I went to Israel, and I just took some time out to sit in the park and soak up the sun because the weather's around here, it's been miserable in recent months. But I actually enjoyed that. But that's a rare occasion for me. I love doing so. I love being on the move. I love getting up, going out, doing stuff, coming back, getting changed, going back out, going for a nice meal, maybe going out.
And doing your hair, obviously, as well.
And doing my hair, yeah. People always make this. I mean, we've not known each other long enough for you to have made this comment. People always say, like, I take ages to get ready because of my hair. It literally takes me about 2 minutes to do my hair, and I'm always the first ready. Always.
Who is it that's telling you that it takes you?
All my mates on holiday. We just been to Athens. The amount of time it takes them to get in the shower, not even have the shower and get ready, just to get in the shower. I've got one mate. To be honest, he'll know. I'm not going to say his name, but he'll know who he is. And my God, I've never seen someone take so long to get in the shower, to get ready, to get out there. There's a couple of them actually. They'll know who they are. I hope they're not too angry at me for saying, but yeah, I mean, people just sort of have my girlfriend the same. Girls are quite bad at getting ready, but my girlfriend, she'll say, "Oh, you're taking ages to get ready, like, come on." And it's like, I've been waiting around for you. The worst one is, like, when they get ready, right, they take about 2 hours to get ready. You take 20 minutes, right?
100%.
But you're not ready to go out yet because you know you're going to have to wait around for another hour and 40 minutes. You don't put your shoes on.
Oh.
Then when it comes to leaving the house, right, I'm just going to go and put my shoes on. Come on, I've been ready 5 minutes.
100%. This resonates with me so much. I'll always jump in the shower first, like quick 10 minutes wash. I don't even know what I do with my hair. I just let it flop. Put on all my clothes. Will not put on my socks or my shoes purely because of there's no need to do it because she's going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours. She doesn't actually. She's pretty good, like 40 minutes to an hour. But always at the end of it, she'll be like, "You ready?" And I'll be like, "No, you've just been getting ready for the past hour. So why would I be ready?"
Yeah, because otherwise you're just sitting there in your nice clothes that you just put on. They're growing dirty by the minute.
No point. And always at the end of it, they'll be like, "Why aren't you ready?" I was ready like 5 minutes ago. I was ready like an hour ago. It's just like, come on.
But yeah, if you rush them, that's curtains for you.
Oh yeah, it's not worth.
That's them in the mood for the rest of the night, isn't it?
It's not worth.
Or well, maybe not the rest of the night, but
maybe the rest of the week.
maybe the rest of the week. I just hope it's a Sunday.
Yeah, God, yeah.
and that Monday comes around fast. But that's one thing. Like people always say, I get ages to I take ages to get ready, and that is a myth. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
So my earliest travel memory.
Yeah, go for it.
We're here. My grandparents, my granddad's dead. He died a few years ago. And me nana, who is still alive, and she actually still has this. She has a timeshare in Scotland near Aberdeen. It's in a place called Ballater, which is next to Balmoral, where the Queen's summer residence is.
I was literally going to say, because my family's also Scottish and it's up in Aberdeen as well. So I was going to say, if you're about to say like the village where my family's from, this is going to get a really interesting podcast.
And is it?
Well, no, it's Huntley where my family's from.
Nah, moving on.
Well, I'll never know.
Yeah. What is the village? Do you care to divulge?
Yeah, it's called Huntley. It's up near Aberdeenshire. It's my grandfather and my mum grew up. I've been up and visited a few times, but I wouldn't know the local area, so I wouldn't know.
It's a nice part of the world, though.
Oh, it's stunning. Not when it's raining and windy, but...
No, but it kind of beats being at home a bit, I think, because it's just a change of scenery. It's something 100%. A bit different. And anyway, they've got this timeshare. They've got like a lodge, and it's weird. You go in on the top floor. So you're going on the top floor, okay. And the sort of the downstairs is like on the edge of a cliff, so it's like goes like underground. Sort of.
Sounds epic.
But in this lodge, you've got like a sauna, like a jacuzzi bath.
Sounds epic.
Yeah, and like you've got like them beds that like come down from
pull out of the wall. Yeah.
So you've got a double bed for that. You've got a bedroom with 2 twin beds and a bedroom downstairs with double beds. It looks out onto the tennis courts and over the lake. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So my earliest travel memory was being there. I think I probably went there for the first 10, 12 years of my life. Every I'd say most years. And my earliest travel memory, they've got like an entertainment leisure complex, okay. And they've got like swimming pools in there. Oh. And I must have been I've probably done it before. I think I've been swimming since I was about 1. And it must have been 2, 3, something like that. I just remember going down this slide. I can remember it now. It was a white slide on the inside, green on the outside. And I just remember it. It wasn't that big, but I love like water parks and things like that. I just remember going down this slide without my armbands on, which was pretty epic moment.
Yeah, step out your comfort zone without the armbands on.
That's it. I didn't drown, so...
Well, you're here
I did
today,
pretty well.
Aren't you?
If it did, this would be some scary shit for you right
this
now.
Would be a really interesting podcast right now.
Yeah, most haunted Media City edition.
No. Oh, I hate one thing. I'll just sort of step off topic for a minute. Is I hate ghosts. Can't stand them. And
so, do you believe in them then?
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, you have to. How can you hate something you don't believe?
And I'll share a story right now, which is so first time at my girlfriend's parents' house. This would be about 4 years ago, and so I got there. I was just having a chit chat with the parents. I'd met them once before for 5 minutes, and we sat down, and then all of a sudden my girlfriend's mum came and sat down and started telling me stories about the house and how it's haunted. Now at this stage I didn't know if she wanted just to get rid of me or like didn't like me. She loves me now, I hope. And she was saying, well, when the kids were young, I was on my own in the house, and I woke up and I walked into their bedroom, and my son was putting his duvet out the window, and I thought, okay, like this doesn't sound scary whatsoever.
Sounds weird, if anything.
Yeah, weird if anything. And she persisted to ask the son. She was like, what are you doing? As you would.
Chucking me quilt out the window.
As you would. And he said,
or a duvet if you're down south.
Yeah. He said, well, the man behind you told me to put my duvet out the window. Now, no one else was in the house bar these two people. And she said, I had to like turn round, bearing in mind my son's just told me that there's a man behind me. No one was there. And then I was sort of thinking, Jesus, that's a bit scary. And then she carried on telling me more ghost stories about how a family in the house was like passed away years ago, and how they'd been like taunting the kids, including my girlfriend, and how when she was 5, she like packed up a suitcase and walked like 5 miles down the street. And yeah, that's put me off ghosts for life, and that sort of like set the tone for my relationship, shall we say?
That's put you off ghosts for life.
Yeah, could you not relate?
No, I don't really believe in them. I can't even think of an instance where I've encountered the paranormal.
Oh, God.
I've seen shooting stars before, but
I mean,
that, you know,
that's epic. As opposed to, if I saw a shooting star, I'd wish that there'd be no more ghosts in my life.
yeah, but like people would be like some people are like conspiracy theorists, aren't they? So they'd be like, it's not a shooting star, that's Elvis Presley and his flying on his flying trampoline or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's an actual conspiracy theory, but you know, people are weird like that.
Yeah.
There's loads about that Kanye West at the moment because of that slavery thing he's come out
he
with.
slipped.
What did he say? Slavery was a choice.
Yeah, slavery was a choice. Which, I mean,
Bizarre thing to say.
it is about. I think he sort of backed up what he was saying that. I don't know how he defended himself. Like,
I don't know whether you're saying he thinks that slaves had a choice whether to be slaves or not, or people now are choosing to kind of still be offended by it and keep being mad about it.
I think that's probably.
I think either way,
Yeah, I mean,
it
there's
probably
no
wasn't a
point in
great
saying
thing
it.
to say.
No.
I think I have a feeling it was like, I've read that he's got an album coming out soon.
Oh, really?
He's just generated a load of people. I mean,
just watch
in this day and age, even bad press is good press.
Yeah.
He's got people talking about him.
100%.
And it'll probably make more sales off the back of it. So by saying something probably quite terrible,
Yeah.
and
It's just quite out there. I suppose. It's just.
I don't know whether you could classify that as racist, but it's not a good thing to say.
No, 100%. No.
And yeah, he's going to profit from it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is mad. It is mad. I just don't understand it.
So going back to my first travel memory, what actually triggered the question in my mind was when I mentioned about Americans basically thinking we all sound like the Queen, which isn't true, as you can probably tell from this podcast.
Yeah.
So this Ballater, where this lodge is, like I say, it's the next town over from where the Queen's summer residence is, and when she is up there, or this is what she used to do, she used to go around, there's like a little square in the town of Ballater, and it has like a sweet factory there, and it has a school, like a couple of little shops, and it did have a railway museum, although I think that burnt down.
Jesus.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened to it. And I was with my granddad at the time, and the problem is, like, no one really believes this story, so he's the only person that could back me up, and unfortunately he's passed away now. So I'm not lying, and we went out in the morning early to get petrol. I mean, me and him used to wake up like 7 o'clock in the morning, like, or 6:30, 7, get out and about. We went down to the petrol station, and someone, because the Queen didn't announce like in advance when she was doing a visit, she kind of just turned up, and people, it's such a small town, people will congregate. So we went to the petrol station, the guy behind the desk where my granddad was paying for petrol. I actually remember this vividly. So I must have been 5 or 6. This was pre 9/11, and I must have been 5 or 6, and she and my granddad paid for petrol. The guy went, "Did you know the Queen's coming to town today?" So my granddad went, "No." We went back to the lodge. My mum, dad, brother, and my nana were there, and my granddad asked her, "Does anyone want to come see the Queen? She's meeting. She's coming to the town today." They all said no. So we just went down, just me and him, parked up. We went to this square, and what they did was she came in with a sort of motorcade, black cars, and they had like this square.
Entourage.
Well, no, this square like with railings around, so you could go and stand by the railings.
Right,
and there wasn't that many people there. We were probably talking 200 people, if that. It's only a small town, but a big event for that town.
Yeah.
So she gets out of her car, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Queen," and she actually like walked around and was saying hello to people. And I remember my granddad like sat me on this like metal fence, this barricade thing, and I was sat on it. And he was kind of like holding me behind me, and she came around saying hello to everyone and like said hello to me and my granddad,
so cool.
and like shook her hand and everything.
That's epic.
I don't know if I was supposed to, but
I'm not even sure.
like I was quite like, when I was younger, I was a bit cheeky like that.
Yeah.
So I probably like went like that, and she like shook my hand. I think she's probably shaking loads of people's hands, but yeah, I thought I'd shake hands with the Queen. So when I was 5 or 6, that was probably the most fresh in my mind early travel memory.
Well, that is a really early travel memory as well, like 5 or 6, like.
So I was 19, 20 years ago.
Jesus.
Well, no, 18, 19 years ago.
That's like an epic first travel memory though.
But
Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's
isn't
actually
it?
mad.
And I know it's only Scotland, so it's not like, I jetted off to Barbados like you, but it's still, I still count that as travel.
That's still like, I didn't meet the Queen in Barbados, obviously. Like, that was just more like a family memory, but that's unreal. Like, shook the Queen's hand, when I was like 5.
Yeah.
So
We were playing poker and having cigars a couple of hours later. So
yeah.
the rest, as they say, is history.
Indeed.
That's why she's lived so long, because she touched the hand of Tom. That's it.
That's it. Touch the hand of Tom. That's actually quite a good saying.
Touch the hand of Tom. Well, I have this saying because I've, like you say, I've got 2 degrees. So I graduated with my bachelor's a couple of years ago, and then at the end of last year in December, just gone, I graduated with my master's. So on my wall at home, we've got my undergrad pick and my master's pick. When you stand there with the scroll and all that.
Well, I haven't done it yet.
Well, you've not done it yet, but you will
Hopefully.
do it. You got like hat on the gown, all that. So I got 2 up there, and it looks like if you ever watch a news report in like North Korea or whatever, and they have the 2 photos of Kim Il Sung and Kim Jong Il on the in like classrooms and in every sort of room in North Korea. It literally looks like that. So I coined the phrase after seeing that on my wall. I said this to my dad. I coined the phrase Tommyism. So
Jesus Christ.
I should trademark that, really.
You should trademark that. Well,
So today could be the rise of Tommyism, or the start of Tommyism.
Start of Tommyism. Well, there's something I wasn't expecting to hear on this podcast.
I've met the Queen and I've created my own ideology.
Yeah.
Tommyism.
Jesus Christ.
I need to come up with some salute or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully something respectful.
Yeah.
The eternal dab.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. I thought you were going for something else.
No. I think I'll steer clear of that. I don't want to lose viewers.
Yeah, just over
in the first podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
wow. So yeah, that was my earliest travel memory. Pretty good one. So swimming and meeting the Queen.
That's decent.
I think the first time I went abroad was, when would it have been? I'm not too sure. Again, it was probably around the same time, so like 5 or 6. I went to Spain because the same grandparents, they had an apartment in the south of Spain on the Costa del Sol.
Beautiful.
And we went in October half term, and I don't remember. I remember the balcony of the apartment. That's roughly about it. I remember the bedroom it went into, but I do remember like the complex, and I remember they had this swimming pool. So bearing in mind it's October half term, so the temperature's maybe 18, 19 degrees. It's not that warm. It's like warm for here, but it's probably still jeans and t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
And they had this pool, and it had like a bridge going over the pool with no railings on or anything, and then just like a circle pool. And I remember, I love swimming, so I remember getting in the pool, and it was like absolutely like, I'm telling you now, fucking freezing.
Absolutely
as you
freezing.
will say.
Yeah. As the Queen would say also.
As the Queen will say as well.
And
That's what she said.
Shook your hands. You thought,
Fucking hell, Tom, it's freezing, mate. And yeah, so I remember swimming that. Me mum got in there as well. She didn't mind that. And the rest of my family was just having none of it. I just remember it being freezing cold, but I loved it. Like, I'm one of them, once you jump in, once you get in, you're in.
Just get used to it.
That's it. And I think that's the approach I'd have if I ever did a bungee jump or
you just got to go for it.
Once you're gone, there's not much you can do after that, is there?
No, 100% not.
You either get on board with it or...
Maybe that's the next thing, because I've always wanted to do a bungee jump. Maybe it's like a segment we could do, just like bungee with James and Tom.
Bungee jump off the window.
Side, yeah.
Smash the window.
I think the closest thing I've done to a bungee jump is in Cyprus. You've been to Iron Apple as well. Sort of the typical the lads' vacation.
Fucking nappy.
I was like the only sober person in the whole of Iron Apple. I'm sure probably the only sober person ever to have visited.
Yeah. 100,000,000%.
Yeah. So basically they've got I don't know, strong willpower apparently. But there's like it's not a playground. I'm trying to think, theme park. And there's this massive sort of dome circle where you sit in and it fires you.
It has bungee cords either side.
And it's the most literally, I was sat in it with my friend and and my friend was absolutely smashed. I have no idea how he didn't vomit everywhere. And we went flying up in there, and the moment we sort of dropped, I was thinking, this must be what it feels like to be on a bungee, like just dropping in the middle of the sky.
The thing that worries me, I mean, I've wanted to go on one of them before, but I always think, like, you know, when you hear about like travelling fairs and stuff and accidents happening and things not working properly, and I always just think,
I mean, foreign countries and sort of health and safety can be questionable. Yeah, I think questionable is the right word for it. It was a leap of faith, shall we say?
A leap of faith. Well, you did it. You're here now.
Yeah, I'm still here now.
And much like me with that swimming in the cold water, it was worth it in the end.
It's worth it in the end. Made for a good memory.
I can't get over that. How you did Iron Apple sober is mental. Did you go to River Reggae?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
River Reggae is like this outdoor club. Usually people go at like 4 in the morning.
There's some great stories about like the swimming pool there, and that you shouldn't get in it.
Yeah, because it's infested with chlamydia.
Yeah. Not
true.
Oh, well.
I don't have chlamydia. Or if I do have it, I don't realise that I have it, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I remember literally, we got there, we'd obviously gone in our night out clothes and stuff. We literally all we did was strip down to our boxes, just literally launch ourselves in.
Jesus. You're much braver than I was.
Accept the consequences later. Yeah. And when you've had like loads to drink, I mean, when we got there, must be in 5:30 in the morning. We were swimming around 6:30, smashed 7 o'clock in this water, messing around. But we got a couple of like sick photos from it, to be fair.
Yeah, up the gram.
Up the gram. Well, actually, no, they're not on Instagram. So I need that is my next Instagram.
Flashback to Iron Apple.
Yeah, Iron Apple River Reggae, River Reggae throwback.
Jesus.
Throwback Thursday today. So throwback Thursday.
There you go. Yeah.
You sorted me out my Instagram for tonight.
Yeah, the only club I remember in Iron Apple was called the Car Wash. I think it was the Car Wash, where literally they just played sort of old bangers. Yeah. And sort of my sort of was Busted, like the year 3000. I don't know if you remember.
You love that song,
mate. So good. And when it came on, everyone was just like going nuts.
Southerners, like, yes. Mate. Southerners all over that.
Do you not like Busted?
No,
mate. That's just like McFly. I'm not a big fan of McFly in all honesty. No. I don't even know what you would be listening to up here.
I mean, when we've gone on them lads' holidays, it's me more like club music. So your Calvin Harris,
admittedly,
Avicii,
this is
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, Jesus. Admittedly, that was not what I like listened to. That was just the club. It was like retro car wash music. When I was out there, it was Avicii.
Don't lie, I've spoken to one of your mates. Apparently, you specifically requested Year 3000 by Busted.
It's so good. I don't know any of the lyrics. That's one thing I can't do is recite lyrics.
Is it? I don't know if he's from McFly. There's a guy called Matt Willis. Is he from McFly or Busted?
I have no
idea. And he sung like the song that was on Mr. Bean's Holiday, the movie. And like, I love that song. That's a pretty decent song. So I'll give you that. But they merged together, didn't they? Was it
McBusted? Yeah. My girlfriend went to one of their concerts.
I couldn't be doing with all that. Well, I to be fair, I used to be a little mosher back in the day, mate.
A little mosher?
Yeah. So do you not know what a mosher is?
I know, like mosh pit.
Like Mosher, like listen to like rock music and all that. I turned up to my Year 5 disco, no word of a lie, in a flame shirt and then big flare jeans with like a chain on the side.
Oh God.
Safe to say, I pulled a fair few beards that night. But yeah, no, that was what I used to be into. So I used to like see the Saliva, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit used to be one of my Limp Bizkit used to be one of my favourites.
Oh, what's the only sort of rock
Rolling.
Wow. 3 Days Grace?
Yeah, they're alright.
Yeah, they're pretty decent.
Nickelback.
No.
Puddle of Mud.
Did you say Nickelback?
No, I meant to say Puddle of Mud.
No,
The
you said
lead
Nickelback.
the lead singers of both of them bands are very similar. I don't mind. I've got nothing against Nickelback. I know it's like a meme, but I've got nothing against them.
You called me out for busted and you just go, I love Nickelback.
I did not say I love Nickelback. Let's just clarify that right now.
Okay.
Who else was there?
I literally just like...
Well, yeah, just all these like rock bands. Like I used to watch Kerrang, if you remember that, like a music channel. It's weird. I used to be into rock music, but it's not something I actively listen to now. But I've got a mate who's in a heavy metal band, and like he come to Bratislava with me 2 months ago now, and we were getting ready for drinking, and like we were sharing a room, so we just had the rock bangers on.
Oh Jesus!
So it was quite good to reminisce.
I would like to be your neighbours there.
Oh, it was only on a quite. We had a massive apartment as well, so I don't even think the sound travelled to the walls, let alone through the walls.
Decent.
So it was pretty good. Also, we've got our little set.
Oh yeah.
Well, plus water.
Plus water.
And all these wires that look dead smart.
Yeah.
We've got these 2 little bits and pieces. I said to James, bring yourself something you've got on your travels. So I went for my... Well, I think it describes me pretty well as well. My
NFL
Russian doll from Moscow. I went in December, so I picked this up in. It's my favourite NFL team, the New York Jets, and I bartered with it. In fact, the big one, this Petty, he's actually got released today.
Oh, really?
So
Jesus Christ,
good timing.
Yeah. So
obviously you've got all these.
Keeps going, doesn't it?
These Russian dolls, and I remember I bartered with this guy at Izmailovsky Market in Moscow, and I got this for about £12. In the end, I think he started at maybe about 50.
Deal.
And
love bargaining with people.
Well, this is Izmailovsky Market. If you ever go to Moscow, I'd highly recommend going there and avoiding all the touristy shops, because everything there's dirt cheap. You can barter loads, and we had a good laugh with the guy. Went onto the high street just off Red Square, went into a souvenir shop. This same thing, just a different player, was on sale. Nice. And they started at about £220 bartering. Got them down to about 80. I had no intention of buying it because I'd already bought this.
Yeah.
And I just said no chance. And I got this for £12. And they started at 50. So you think like that they started for the ones in the shop, started at 220 quid.
That's actually
absolutely
mental.
disgraceful.
That's a rip-off there.
Some people have probably been stupid enough to pay it. But yeah, so it's good because I've got a souvenir from one of my favourite trips, which was Moscow, and it's to do with it's a traditional Russian doll. So it's it's from the area, and it's painted in there as New York Jets players.
They're great paints as well.
They're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, really decent.
That's the smallest one. But yeah, I just thought, do you know what? I'll splash the cash.
Splash the 12 quid.
They usually sat on my desk at home, but hopefully they're part and parcel of this podcast setup now. Would you like to explain?
Yeah, so basically, Tom's bought a really nice thing here, and I bought a cap. But basically, whenever I go to different places, I always bring back a cap, hence why I'm like representing another cap. This one's from Kitzbühel, which is in Austria. It's actually my latest travels as well. Fun story about Austria as well. In the sort of like spa section there, people don't like to wear clothes, which I discovered sort of when I was like mid-flow. I was walking down the stairs and I was like, Jesus, there's a lot of naked people around here. But yeah, no, I bought a cap because that's the thing I get. People get like t-shirts, key rings, I get caps.
So that's the one thing you collect. You don't collect anything else.
No, literally, when I go foreign countries, I'm like, where's the caps?
I don't collect things per se. I always get my dad a fridge magnet wherever I go. And I always get...
That's like the go-to one, fridge magnets.
Yeah, well, I used to collect football scarves, so if I went to a football ground to get a football scarf, I've got too many now, so I only get a football scarf if I go and watch a team play. So if I went and visited the ground, didn't see the game, I won't bother with the scarf.
Yeah.
I've started it on my lanyard at work. I've started filling it up with little pins from where I've been on my travels. So that's my latest thing at the moment. But fridge magnets is the thing I've bought consistently throughout my travels. And well, I think we're probably coming to the end of the podcast, the episode 1. But I just want to finish off with a little quiz for you.
No, please don't do quiz. I especially hate like pop surprise quizzes.
Oh, it's not that bad. I said this a couple of weeks ago to shit you up, like, but it's fine. Do you remember them things on Instagram stories, like this or that kind of thing?
Okay.
So I've got this or that travel edition.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So you can explain your answers as well.
Okay.
So this or that travel edition, sea or snow?
Sea or snow? Oh, Jesus. I do like snow, but I always go with sea because I just love the beach and being by the ocean. It's like I've grown up just being sat by the sea. So
I'd have to massively disagree with you there.
Really?
Whenever I remember when I went to Oslo a couple of years ago, and that was in the snow, and it just looked absolutely beautiful. I think if you go to a city at winter, particularly a European city outside of this country, the snow just makes everything look a million times more beautiful. The photos you can get are insane.
No, but think about the palm trees. All about the palm trees on the ground.
What, for the sea?
Yeah, you sat by the sea, you got a nice palm
Not
tree.
every beach has a palm tree.
Yeah, no, but
Snow makes everywhere look beautiful.
That's
you can
a valid
ski on
point.
snow.
That
I
is
suppose
true.
you can go cruising in the sea though.
Yeah, that's
you can
true.
swim in the sea, scuba diving. But for me, snow all day.
Snow is decent. I can't
I hate it at home. Well, I don't hate it at home. I like it for a day,
and then
it just turns everything to shit.
England literally just can't cope with snow. That's the issue.
It's bizarre, but we don't have it enough to be able to afford to spend, millions and billions of pounds on sort of counter snow measures. I suppose.
Counter snow measures. Tomyanism and counter snow measures.
That's my first order of business is to get some counter snow measures.
Yeah, there you go.
Local or luxury? What the fuck is this? I should have read this.
Just
two completely unrelated things.
Yeah, completely mad.
I think maybe what it's trying to say, do you prefer like a luxury boutique hotel, or would you rather stay in more of a local setting, more somewhere that when you go away it feels like when I went to Marrakesh recently, I stayed in a riad, which is like a sort of guest house, like a traditional Moroccan guest house. Would you rather have that kind of feel, like a more authentic accommodation, or would you rather have a luxury 5-star?
Oh, I don't know. I do love a bit of luxury, but then at the same time I love experiencing like culture and things. But
is a difficult one that.
That's a really, because there's completely like opposite ends of the spectrum.
I think I'd say luxury because local is not always going to be the best,
and you can go out and experience
that's it. I've got quite a curious mind, and I'm happy to sort of what would you say, happy to get stuck in, I suppose,
go and
for lack
explore.
of a better phrase, and then sort of explore that, and learn sort of the local culture that way. So I'm not too fussed if I was staying in a 5-star hotel.
Not too fast, no.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Struggles of life.
I know, no, it's not gonna affect me exploring the rest. Like I know people would stay in a 5-star resort all holiday. I remember when we went to Mauritius about 10 years ago, and we were staying in a beach house that our neighbours at home owned because they're from Mauritius, and we did so much more than this other family we met who stayed in the 5-star resort and sort of went on a couple of day trips. We did so much more than them, and I think like if I was in a 5-star resort I wouldn't be staying there all week. However, local prices are probably a bit more appealing.
Yeah, that's valid.
Here's a good one: sunrise or sunsets?
Oh Jesus, I'm an early bird. Sunrise every day. Love a good sunrise. I think I especially like it at the times where no one else is around. I feel like everyone's like, everyone's got to get the sunset, but sunrise is something that just like not a lot of people are there for.
I think I tend to agree with you there. I prefer. I think I feel better at the end of a day when I've been up early than how a student made me and getting up at like midday and going to bed at like 3 a.m. Because it's just I think you feel like crap at the end of the day, to be honest with you, compared to if you get up early. I feel like you're more productive. It's a better start to the day. You're up and about and you're getting stuff done straight from the off. So I'd agree with you there. Sunrise for me.
Decent.
Active or relaxed?
Oh
I think we've already answered this, haven't we?
Yeah, it is a difficult one because on holiday, like, or when I go traveling, I tend to like to just like unwind for a little bit. But I'm a very active person. I'm literally just like.
Well,
active.
this is travel. So
Yeah.
if it was your ideal holiday, what would you? You know, if someone said you can have one last holiday, would you like it to be active or relaxed?
Active all day. Make the most
To be honest,
of it.
that's probably a poor way of putting it.
Yeah. You got
Or
to
are
make
you
the most of
all
it.
right? You can only have one type of holiday the rest of your life.
One
active
type
or,
of holiday the rest of
active
your
or
life.
relaxed.
Oh, Jesus, that's difficult.
So if I said your last holiday, it really won't matter.
Just be
do
like,
you know what I mean?
smash it.
Yeah. Bearing in mind you'd be working all year.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you put it like that, it has to be relaxed. Otherwise, you're going to have no time to unwind, are you?
To me, it'd be active. Do you know what I mean? Like I think I go home and I like thinking of things on my blog, and I'm thinking of things like this.
Yeah.
And I'm always switched on. And
Constant.
for me, active is just me. Like
Same nature.
I love having an itinerary and packing it full of things. And I'm not like some sort of strict general that's like, we've got to be here at this time, we've got to be here at that time. But I just think that I'd rather than sit around and do nothing, I'd rather be out doing stuff all the time.
Yeah.
GoPro or DSLR?
Oh,
We're definitely going to agree on this one.
DSLR.
DSLR,
Just better quality every time.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
GoPro's good, but I think anyone can use a GoPro.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have a bit of skill and you've got to have a bit of creativity up here
And knowledge as well.
to be able to use a DSLR properly. Having said that, I've not really done enough manual shooting. I've done some, but I've just not done enough. And I think a GoPro, I like it, but too many people have GoPros for it to be like.
They're good for certain circumstances. Like, yeah, I know that's just like trend setting. You're like following the trend. You're like, but they are great for certain things. Like I went to Albania and I didn't have a GoPro, but I have the TomTom equivalent, and I literally just brought that around with me. It was literally indestructible, and I was like throwing it in water, throwing it around, and you just get some really cool shots.
Well, that's it. I went to Krka, which is like a national park in Croatia. They have like waterfalls and you can swim at the foot of the waterfalls. You just take your GoPro in and you sorted it. It's really good for that, and obviously you can't do that with a DSLR. But I think it's so much more. Well, you could.
Yeah.
Don't think it lasts very long.
No.
But it's so much more satisfying when you've done that. When you've done that, when you've taken your DSLR out and you looking back through the pictures. Right? I think GoPro, you do get some cool shots, but they can be, because of the nature of the camera, they can be a bit sketchy at times.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like DSLR, it's just like quality, and I'm a big fan of that, and I love like when you get them on Lightroom and start playing around with them, and you zoom in and you can just see every fine detail, which I think some of the GoPros are getting better at now, but they're just not the quality of DSLR. And also, like, if you're shooting something that's moving, you can get every sort of almost frame of their
100%.
movement, which is pretty awesome. Budget or splash out?
Oh, Jesus. No, I love a good splash. But that being said, I feel like you can get quite a bit done on a budget. Like, whereas if you splash out, I feel like it's so difficult.
It's a weird question, isn't
If
it?
it was something that you've always wanted to do, or if it's something that you saw and you're like, that's going to be absolutely amazing and I'm never ever going to get the opportunity to do that again, I'd be like, yeah, go for it.
But it's all, the problem is with that question is it's all dependent on your current situation.
100%.
So you could ask a rich person,
And they'd be like,
they'd be splash out.
Yeah,
Obviously,
100%.
they've got the money to do it.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say budget, because you can do more. Whereas when you splash out, you can do more in terms of, if you splash out, you can do stuff like private jet, for example, and like 5-star resorts.
Yeah.
But I think people on a budget and budget-minded travellers tend to be a bit more ambitious, a bit more adventurous with what they do, a bit more resourceful as well, obviously. So
I think that's fair.
I think you're more likely to kind of put yourself in maybe more dangerous situations, go down lesser travelled roads and things. So for me, I think there's a bit more adventure in the budget side of things, and that's how I've travelled so much as a student and as a full-time worker.
I agree with that.
Being thrifty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right. Well, I think
That's it.
that's it. If you want to obviously subscribe to us, that'd be
Amazing.
amazing. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat's Tom Woods 20, but everything else is Travelling Tom. You've also got my website, my blog, travellingtom.com, youtube.com/Travelling Tom. I think I'm going to leave it on that note.
That's it, yeah.
And pass it over to the boy, JWR Simons.
Yeah, literally. So Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, all JWR Simons. It's like as easy as that. Website, jwrsimons.com. Simple as that.
Travel blogger, vlogger, and any other ogre, apparently, this guy.
Apparently, that's kind of the thing nowadays, isn't it?
That's your gimmick moniker.
Yeah, I quite like that though, isn't it? Because it's literally everything ogre. I can't think. Is podcast ogre? Pod ogre? No, that doesn't really sound right.
Doesn't really work.
No, I'll take that back.
Are you sure you didn't want logger?
Logger? No.
Logger. You sure you don't want logger?
No, I'll refrain from taking that one.
Anyway, right. So hopefully we'll have, over the next couple of weeks, we'll have a few guests on.
Yep.
We'll keep putting out these podcasts, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you keep checking our pages. We'll be sharing all this content out on that, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Ace, right. Your camera's never going to record all that.
That's probably out of battery.
Let's hope everything's fucking recorded.
I was literally just,